this training video, I will introduce you to the basics of the administration menu of nutrient workflow. I'm going to start in the category section as this relates to other areas of the administration menu. This category section is where you can create folders to organize your forms, processes, and reports. You can also create subcategories for optimal structure. To create a new category, click on Add Category at the top, give it a name, a parent if you would like to create a subcategory, and description is optional. Once you click Save, your category will be created. You can also manage roles and permissions for categories by clicking Manage Roles and Permissions. This will allow users to only see what they need to see. For example, a finance group will see the finance category, HR users can view the HR category. We have more information on roles and permissions on our website. Next, I'll start at the top. I will start at processes. You can see that we have all of our categories listed here. You can also manage roles and permissions for your processes. And you can click the Show All Categories checkbox. Empty categories are hidden by default. To add a new process, click the Add Process button. You can create a new one from scratch, or you can import one from our workflow templates on our website. So I'm going to click New, and I'll name this PTO request. Give it a category. And description is optional, so click Save. I'm going to go over a very basic overview of building processes. We have an in-depth video on process building on our website. This process builder is a drag and drop environment where you can drag different task types into your process flow. To connect two tasks together, hover over the task until you see the pink bar and drag the arrow to connect the tasks together. You'll see your most frequently used tasks at the top, and then we have our full task list here. I'll go over the tabs at the top of our process builder. Process flow is going to be the process builder where you drag your tasks in. The task tab is going to be a list view of the tasks in the process flow. You can also configure tasks, manage recipients, and set notifications from this list. Request Detail Config can customize what is shown in the Request Detail tab of a task. Next is KPIs. This is where you can create key performance indicators to track process metrics such as time taken between tasks. Our Process Detail tab has system information. This allows you to change the process name, publish status, category, and more. You can also manage roles for this process, find links and API options that are associated with the process, copy, export, and version the process. You can also view questions that are on the forms in your process, and you can delete it if necessary. This Run Request tab will allow you to run a request straight from the process builder. Next, I will go over forms. Go to the forms section. You can see that all of our categories are visible here as well, very similar to how our process section looks. I'm going to create add form. Again, you can add a new one or import it. I'll name this PTO request form. Give it a category, and description is optional. I'll click Save. Again, this is going to be a very basic overview of forms. We have a separate video on forms as well. Similar to our process builder, our form builder is a drag and drop environment, so I can drag question types into our form builder. We have a list of question types here on the left and also different layout types. Sections are what hold our containers, and containers are what hold our questions. You can edit sections and containers by using the pencil icon and making your changes there. And I can see my section heading has changed. You can also click the pencil icon on the container and change the amount of columns to make the form more user-friendly. To edit and configure questions, you can click the pencil icon of the question, and you can make your changes and see details here. You can also make a question required under the validation tab and add help text if necessary. Now I will go over the tabs at the top of the form builder. So next is going to be our rules. This rules tab allows you to define behaviors for questions or sections based on user input, such as showing or hiding fields. JavaScript allows you to create more advanced form behaviors, and CSS can be used for styling. Our Preview tab will show how the end user will view the form. Our Detail tab is some more system information, allows you to change the name, the category, and delete, export, copy, and those sorts of things. This References tab allows you to see which processes are using this form throughout your instance. So let's say this form is used in 5 different processes. All of our processes will show up in this References tab. Moving on to reports, you can see the same view. You can see all of our categories here. You can add a new report or import one from our website as well. Manage roles and permissions. Users will allow you to add, deactivate, or replace users in your instance. You can edit user profiles by clicking on the pencil icon. You can see I can change the user's username, email, name, time zone. I can change their password for them, and tons of organizational details, and I can also set a delegation if the user is out of office. These columns are pretty self-explanatory, but you can see when the user profile was created, when the user profile was last updated, and the last time the user logged in. You can also see this active column will show a green check mark if the user is active, a red X if the user is inactive. I can activate a user by clicking on the red X, and I can deactivate it by clicking on the green check mark. I can also bulk activate or deactivate users by using the checkboxes and clicking activate or deactivate at the top. I can also search on my users and use filters if needed. So if I wanted to search just on active users, I can click this button here and click close. So now my filter has been applied. Next, we'll go into the group section. This is where you can create groups to manage user assignments efficiently. So finance, HR, that kind of thing. You can add or remove users by clicking on this Manage Members icon here. To create a new group, you can click Add Group at the top. And you can manage roles and permissions for your groups. We already went over categories. We'll move on to Process Scheduler. This allows you to schedule a process to run on a certain frequency or on specific dates. You can set details like the name, the frequency, and the active status. One thing to note is that the time zone for the process and report scheduler are in GMT, so you will need to account for the time difference. And it's going to be the same thing for our report scheduler. This is just scheduling a report to run on a schedule basis. That was a basic introduction to the administration menu of Nutrient Workflow. All the videos that were mentioned in this video will be linked down in the description below. If you need further assistance or have any questions, reach out to your customer success team.